Good morning, sixth grade. Okay, so today we're going to be practicing a little bit more with our finding percents and using bar models. As I know this is a really tricky thing to have to learn online, but I'm going to try my best today just to show you lots and lots of practice examples. And then I'm providing a quizzes for you, and I've turned the timer off on the quizzes so that you can go in and use paper and draw some bar models and just practice being able to extract these percents. Now, I know that there are other ways for you to be able to do this, and your parents might want to show you that ahead of time. You're going to be learning that next week, but I've had a couple parents who have already kind of jumped in and showed them their students a different way to do it. That is fine, but I do need you to be aware that you will see these bar models on STAR, which is why I am at least getting you comfortable with seeing them. But know that there's math coming next week that's going to make this a lot easier. So don't panic if you completely just don't understand this. Some people really struggle when it comes to a picture in math. All right, so Lottie had 24 gummy bears for snack. She ate 30% of them during math class. How many gummy bears did she eat? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the information that I do know. What we do know is that Lottie has 24 gummy bears, and she ate 30% of them. And our question is how many gummy bears did she eat? And I know some of you are saying, well, she ate 30%. Exactly, but we need to figure out how many that is. So 100% means the total of gummy bears in all. So how many gummy bears did Lottie start out with total in all? So 24. So this is the 100%. So I'm going to put 24 right here. Okay. So this is showing that in order for our percentage bar, kind of like your cell phone battery bar, in order for it to be completely full, it has to be 24 gummy bears. Now, did Lottie eat all 24 of them? No, she only ate 30% of them. So we've got our hundreds bar split into 10 pieces. So this is 10%, 20%, 30%. So right here would be the 30%. Okay? So we need to figure out, what does that mean? Well, I can split these 24 gummy bears into these 10 spaces to figure out how many she ate. So that would be 24 divided by 10. Excuse me. 10 goes into 24 two times, leaving me with 4 left over. I'm going to add a 0 and a decimal and bring it down. So 10 goes into 44 times, and that gives me 2.4. Now, this is a lot of math to have to do whenever we could think about math. So let's think. If I have 100 and I want it to equal 10, because remember we're trying to split it into these 10 groups, what do I have to divide by? It's 100 divided by 10 to equal 10. Okay? So what we're dividing by is this 10. How many zeros are there right there? 1. So it's one place value shift, because if you look, the 100 turned into a 10, so 1 0 disappeared. Okay? So 24 actually has a decimal right there. We just don't write it. We're going to move it one place value because we got rid of 1 0, so we're going to move it one place value. So that means the new decimal goes right there. That would make that number 2.4, just like this. Okay? So each one of these 10% lines is 2.4. Okay? So we have a couple things that we can do. We could either skip count by 2.4 all the way up. We can add 2.4 1, 2, 3 times. Or we can take 2.4 and multiply it by 3 because I want 1 10%, 2 10%, 3 10%. So I want it 3 times. Okay? So I'm going to do 2.4 times 3. And that would give me 72. I have one number behind a decimal, so I need one number behind a decimal here. So it'd be 7.2. So how many gummy bears did Lottie eat? 7.2 gummy bears. Okay. Let's look at the next question. So Caden is one of our new students here at school. He is one of our deaf ed students, and he is teaching us sign language every day. So that's where this question comes from when we say new signs. Caden had 24 new signs for us to learn. He taught 42% of them on Friday. How many signs did he teach? Okay, so what do we know? We know that Caden has 24 new signs, and he's taught 42% of them. How many signs did he teach? Okay, so he has 24 signs for us to learn, so that would be the 100%. So once we learn all 24 signs, then we've learned everything that he wants us to learn. Okay, we want to know what 42% of them is. So 10, 20, 30, 40. Here's 40. And then there's 41, 42. I'm just going to extend this line so I can write the 42% up here. So that's where we want to find. Okay? So let's play with the numbers a little bit. Some people automatically want to go to 50%. Because they know what half of 24 is. Well, half of 24 would be 12. Okay. Some people want to jump all the way over here immediately to 10% because to them that is easy. It is really easy for their brain to comprehend, just move my decimal. Okay. So they will move their decimal. I'm going to use a purple pen so you can see it. They'll move their decimal once. And that, to them, is really easy. Just move my decimal, okay? So I have 50% and I have 10%. How can I get to 40? Well, we could do like we did in the first one, and we can do 10% 4 times to get to 40. But we also know 50, so I could do 50 minus 10%. That'll get me there as well. But the problem is I have to get to this 42. So I'm going to go ahead and find the 40. I'm going to do the 50% minus 10 if that's okay with you. So 12 minus 2.4. Now this is a part where you got to be careful. A lot of people forget about lining up those decimals. We haven't had to do that in a while. So there you go, line up your decimals. So I had 12 minus 2.4. I'm going to have to borrow. And that will leave me with 9.6. So the 40 will be 9.6, but I need to know what that 42% is. Okay, so now I have a little bit of work I have to do. So we could figure out what 20% is, which would be 4.8. And then from 20, we could do a place value shift. Because 20 divided by 10 would be 2, and that would get me 2%. Here's 2%. Okay, I could also take 10% and divide by 10, and it would get me 1. So it would be a place value shift, and that would get me the 1%, so then I could do 1% plus 1%. But we'll do this. So 4% with a place value shift. Let me find where my purple pen went. Oh, here it is. So do a place value shift. So the 2% would be 0.48. Okay, so now in order to get to this 42%, I'm going to take the 40 plus the 2%. So 9.6 plus 0.48. So how many words has, or how many signs has Caden taught us? 10.8. So 10.8 sides. Okay. So the hardest thing about all of this is just keeping track of where you've gone. Most of what you're doing is very simple mental math, dividing numbers in half or moving a place value. You just kind of have to keep track of where you are, and you have to figure out how to manipulate the numbers and break them down to get where you want. Okay? So let's look at another one. This should not be there. I had a typo, sorry. Cooper loves yellow Starburst. He ate all of his Starburst plus Austin's yellow ones. Cooper ate 136% of a Starburst package. If 24 come in a package, how many Starbursts did he eat? So what we have here is Cooper ate 136%. So if you remember, he ate all of his Starbursts, so he ate an entire package, plus he ate Austin's yellow ones. So he ate one whole package plus a little bit of an extra. That's how we got to 136%. So one whole package plus a little bit more. If 24 come in a package, how many Starbursts did he eat? Okay, how many Starbursts did he eat? So 100% of a package we know is 24. So we know he already ate that, so I'm going to put it over here. But we need to figure out what was the extra that he ate. So I don't want to figure out the 136%, I just want to know what the 36% is to add to this 24. So here's my 30, and about right here is my 36%. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 24 and I'm going to do a place value shift, because that will get me 2.4 at the 10%. Okay? So I'm going to do 2.4 times 3. To give me 7.2. Okay? Now, if I know 30, that means I also know 3, because I can do a place value shift. Okay? So that means 3%. Label each time so you know what it is. 3% is 0.72. And I need 6 extra percent. So I could do 3 plus 3. So 1.44. So I need to take the 7.2 plus the 1.44. So 36% is going to be 8.64. Now he did not eat 8.64 Starburst, because remember he had more than a 36%. So we need to add this 8.64 to the package he already ate. So how many Starbursts did Cooper eat in all? 32.64 Starburst. All right, Lily scored 90% on her social studies test. The test had 24 questions on it. How many did Lily get correct? So she scored a 90. There's 24 questions, and we didn't want to know how many Lily got correct. Well, in order to get all 24 right, that would have been 100%. Okay? We want to see this right here. Okay, so some of you are already going, oh, do a place value shift. Let's do a place value shift to get us to 10%. and that would be 2.4. And now there's two ways to approach this. We can do 10 times the 10%, which is 2.4, times 9 to get us all the way over to the 90. Or we could do the 100, so 24, minus 10%, because 100 minus 10 would be 90. So we'll do both ways just to show you they come out to the same. So 21.6. Also, had I taken 24 and subtracted 2.4 like that, I also would have gotten 21.6. So how many questions did she get correct? A little more than 21. 21.6 questions. Correct. And now you're probably thinking, well, how did she get almost 22 questions correct? Well, maybe she lost some points on a question. Maybe she didn't simplify a fraction or something. Okay? All right. Magnolia was working on a word search with 36 words hidden. She has completed 95% of the word search. How many words has she located? So there's 36 words hidden, and she's completed 95%. How many words has she located? That means how many has she found? Okay. So if she'd completed the whole puzzle, it would be 36 words. We want to know what 95% is, just like that. Okay, so let's do a place value shift. Sorry, I know I have been doing that in purple. There we go. We're going to do a place value shift to get us 10%. Okay, now how am I going to figure out this 5%? Well, over here I have 10%. Could I take half of the 10 to get me 5? Yep, I sure could. So half of 3.6. So that would be the same thing as like half of 36. So there'd be 15 for the half of the 30. And then 3 for half of the 6. So if you look right here, there's a half of 3. And there's a half of 6. 1.8. Okay. And if that doesn't make sense, I'll show you right here. Okay. Same thing. Get you there as well. So now I want to get this and this to equal this. So I'm going to take 3.6 plus, or not plus, times 9, because I'm taking 10% 9 times to get over here to 90. And that would be 32.4 for 90%. Okay, and then I'm going to add the 1.8. So 34.2. So she has located 34.2 words. David V was working on the same word search, and 33% of the words left to find. So he has 33% of his words left to find. How many does he have left to locate? He's working on the same word search as Magnolia. What did Magnolia's word search have as the total words? 36 words, right? So I'm going to put 36 right there. And he has 33% of the words left to find. How many words does he have left to locate? Oh, right here is 33%. Okay. So we're going to do a place value shift to get us to 3.6. So we'll do 3.6 times 3 to get us up to 30. So 10.8 would be 30%. Now how are we going to find this other 3%? Well, we could either do a place value shift right here to get us to 1%, and that would be 0.36. Okay. And then we could do 0.36 times 3, which would be 1.08. And we could add that to this. To get us 11.8. But you could also do this. You have 30% right here and you need 3 more percent. You could have done a place value shift. And that would get you 3%. And that would give you 1.08. So either way would work. So how many words does he have left to locate? .88 words to locate. Alright, let's try another one. Charisma has 36 purses hanging on her bedroom wall. In her purse collection, and 78% of them have glitter on them. How many purses have glitter? So Charisma has 36 purses. 78% have glitter. How many purses have glitter? Well, the whole purse collection has 36 purses. And we want to know 78%. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Almost all the way over. So here's 78%. I'm going to do a place value shift to get me to 10. And then I'm going to do another place value shift to get me all the way to 1. And I'm just going to do it a very basic way. I'm just going to take the 3.6 times 7 to get me all the way to 70%. Just went blank for a second. So this is 70%. And it would be 25.2. And then I'm going to take my 0.36 and I'm going to multiply it by 8 to get my other 8%. So I just found 8%. 8% is 2.88. So now I'm going to add these together. So 78% is going to be 28.08. So 28.08 purses have glitter. It's an awesome collection, Charisma. All right. Henry, Jose, Caroline, and Alexis found 66% of 20. What did they say was 66%? So they found 66% of 20. So what did they say 66% was? Well, if it's of 20, 20 would be the total. So here's 60%, so that means 66 would be about right here. Okay. So I'm going to take 20 and I'm going to do a place value shift to get 2.0 for the 10%. Then I'm going to do 10% times 6. So 2.0 times 6. And this would give you 12. And then to get this other 6%, I'm just going to do a place value shift on the 60 because that would tell me what 6% was. And it's 1.2. So I'm going to add 12 and 1.2. And that would get me 13.2. So they said that 66% was 13.2. Okay. So you should start seeing a pattern. Take your number down to 10, and then you can take 10 down to 1, or you can take your number back up. Okay. Judith, Juan, Isabella, and Isaiah found 88% of 25. What did they say 88% was? So 88% of 25. What did they say 88% was? So it's of 25, so 25 is the total. We're going to do a place value shift. And that would give us a 10% at 2.5. Okay. So we want to get all the way up here to 80. So it's 2.5 times 8. So 80 would be worth 20. Okay. And if I need to get 8 more percent to get to 88, well, I'm going to use what I already have. 80 is 20. So I could do a place value shift on 80 to get to 8. So 8 would be 2.0, so 2. So 20 plus 2 would be 22. There you go. So they said that 88% was 22. Gavin had 22 Beyblades, but once, there should be an S there. See, that's what happens whenever you sit down to watch TV at night and you try to type your questions at the same time. Gavin had 22 Beyblades, but wants to collect more. If he wants 40 Beyblades total, what percent does he already have? Okay, so this one's going to be a little more difficult. We have 22, but he wants 40. What percent does he already have? So what does he have? So 40 would be his total. And so this would be 10, 20. Notice that I have to come down here because we know how many he has. This time we're trying to find the percentage. Okay? So we know that 10%, we know it's going to be 20 and a little bit. We just got to figure out what that little bit is. Okay? So we know 10% would be 4 Beyblades. Oops, I don't know why I put that line there. Ignore that. Okay? I don't know why I put that there. I put that at 22% and I wrote it at the bottom. So forget I did that. I made a mistake. So we want to take the 10% is 4. So 20% would be 8, 12, 16, 20. Right here would be 20. And this would be 50%, okay? So now I have to figure out how to get 2 more on here. Well, let's look at what we've got. 10% is 4, which means 5% is 2, because it's half of 10. 5 is half of 10, 2 is half of 4. So now I could take this 2 and this 20 add them together, and that gets me 55%. So Gavin has 55% of the Beyblades. That one was a little more difficult. All right. Ellen and Cynthia found 40 new recipes for cookies they would like to bake. After baking 5 of them, they realized they had what % more to go? So they have 40 recipes and they've baked 5. So what do they have left to go? Well, we know that they've baked 5, so how many recipes did they have left? They have 35 left to bake, but they want to know what that % is. There's more to go. So 100% would be 40 recipes, and we want to know what percentage 35 of them is. Okay, so let's look. First thing I'm going to do is a place value shift to get me to 10%. 10% would be 4. Okay. And we're going to take this down one more. 1% would be 0.4. Well, we don't want to go that far, do we? So what are we going to do? So this is 4, and we have 35 left to go. So let's count by 4s. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. There's 36. They have 35 left to go, so we want to take 1 off of here. So let's look. If I took this 4 and I divided it into 4 pieces to get 1, that means I need to take this 10 and also divide it into 4. So that means 1 down here, 1 whole recipe is worth 2.5%. Okay? So if I take this off right here, we know this is 90%. So I'm going to do 36 minus 1 to get 35, which means I want to do 90% minus 1, which we know is 2.5. So 35%, or 35 recipes left, is the same thing as 87.5%. Okay. Alright guys, that is the last question that I have made for you. So from here you will be able to, and this was a very tough question. This question you are probably not going to see. I just wanted you to see that you can do it. All of these other ones that we've been doing are more like what you're going to see. So what you're going to do is you can practice using your quizzes. I would use lots and lots of paper. So get out some notebook paper, some scratch paper. If you have a whiteboard, you can do that as well. Draw your bar models and actually figure them out. You can use the quizzes as many times as you want. I don't have it set to a certain number. I've also turned the timer off so that you can practice, practice, practice. Now remember, if this is absolutely confusing for you, do not worry. I'm going to be teaching you another way to do this next week, but I've got to know that you've seen how to do the bar model. Okay? All right, good luck guys. If you need me, I'll be on